Hi, this is Victor Morganti from FactEngine. Today we'll be looking at using Boston and FactEngine over the TypeDB database by Vatical. In front of us we have the Boston conceptual modeling software, and we've got a model open called TypeDB Social Network, and these are all the pages in the model. It's got the Vatical TypeDB logo there because this particular database or model is hooked up to the social network database as supplied by Vatical from their website. It's quite a large model, and I've got a few pages open. So here we're looking at a person page, and we're looking at details of a person. This is in object role modeling. Now, object role modeling has practically a one-to-one correspondence with the meta model of TypeDB. There's only one aspect of TypeDB's meta model that object role modeling doesn't cater for, which is attributes on attributes. But in this particular model, there's only one time that's been used. So in practical terms, we can implement the full meta model or the full model in object role modeling. So we're saying a person has a phone number, has a full name, has a nickname, has a language, etc. Object role modeling supports the concept of derived fact types or rules, and so does TypeDB. So here we're looking at a derived fact type where we're saying an employee is mutually employed with an employee at an organization, and employee plays the role of employee and employee. They're the roles. Now TypeDB uses roles and role names, so employee plays employee in two roles, and organization plays the role of organization in the fact type mutual employment, or called a relation in TypeQL for TypeDB. This is the rule that's implemented in TypeDB, and basically it says that if two people work for the same organization and those two people aren't the same person, then that's a mutual employment. Similarly, we have mutual fluency. So if a person and another person mutually speak a language, then that's a mutual fluency, and that's the rule that's implemented in TypeDB. We also have another rule here, mutual profession. So employee has mutual profession with employee in job profession, and the rule there, so two people who work in the same profession. And we've got a fact type here, organization hires employee in profession. So there's some examples of implementing the concepts in TypeDB inside Boston. What we're going to look at now is how to configure Boston for TypeDB. So just right click on the model and go to model configuration, and we can see that we've set the database as TypeDB. We don't need a connection string. What we do need is the server name, or the IP address of the server, or the network address, the database name, so we're looking at the social network database inside TypeDB, and the port that the server is listening on. So I'll just save that. I'll show you that I've got TypeDB open. So we've got the TypeDB server running in the background. We're running version 2.4 and we're listening on port 1729. So that's open in the background. And why we have the database, the model hooked up to the database, is because we can go to the model, right click and go to FactEngine and write natural language queries against the database. So I've got some natural language queries saved, and we'll have a look at some of those. Now, because object role modeling uses predicates in the definition of fact types, we can say things like, which person fluently speaks language French, and execute that query. and Leona, Amelia, Dominic, Fraser and Hader all speak French. We should be able to go here and just type F, and FactEngine will actually go away to the database and help us complete our query, so we don't have to type in French. We got French from the database, and finish our query. So I'll get rid of that one and we'll move on to the next one. So person tanyaarnold@gmail.com.au. Now the email address is the unique key for person. Fluently speaks which language. So we'll execute that query, and it's come back and said Tanya Arnold speaks English. We'll just keep on going through a few queries here now to show you how FactEngine works. So we're saying person Tanya Arnold mutually speaks which language with which person too. So this is actually using the mutual fluency rule that's inside TypeDB, and TypeDB acts like a expert system or a knowledge-based system, so that if we know that one person speaks a language and another person speaks that same language, we can ask questions like, which person Tanya Arnold mutually speaks which language with a person too. So Tanya Arnold mutually speaks English with all these people here, so Leona, Mabel, etc. So that's gone to the database. TypeDB has used the rule and inference engine inside TypeDB and come back with the results. So which organisation owns which office? So organisation 4 owns office 4, organisation 2 office 2, etc. So we can extend our queries. So which organisation owns which office and hires which employee? So we'll get the same result set as last time, but now with the actual employees that work for those organisations. So Sophia and Dominic all work for organisation 3 that has office 3. And we'll extend our query even further. So which organisation owns which office and hires which employee that has a mutual profession with employee 2, Sophia Baker? So now we're going to the mutual profession rule inside TypeDB, and we're saying give us these results, and for employees that have the same profession as Sophia Baker. So Julie, Fabian and Miriam all have the same profession as Sophia Baker. They work in Office 1 and in Organisation 1. Which employee has mutual profession with employee 2, Solomon? So we're using the same rule inside TypeDB now. So Leona Rice has the same profession as Solomon. Now this is another rule. So which person mutually travelled with Miriam Morton and at which location? So Miriam Morton mutually travelled at some point in time with Solomon Tran and Julie Hutchison at a place called French Lick. Which person went to school UPL and that person has which full name? Now it's returning these results. So Tanya Arnold and Rafael Santos went to the school UPL, and here's the TypeQL query behind that. So I'm not going to read that out. So the idea of FactEngine is that you don't have to type out all the TypeQL. You just need to type the question in natural language. So as we type along, we can say which person, and we'll find went to which school. Be there somewhere. Oh well, we'll try another one. which person mutually speaks which language with which person. So that's how you write a query in FactEngine, and it's come back with the results. So FactEngine has a autocomplete or IntelliSense-like ability which helps you complete the query in natural language. And we're going to say now which student went to which school with student Tanya Arnold. So Raphael did, and Raphael went to 2 schools with Tanya Arnold, which is interesting. And we're going to say Tanya Arnold did which course in which school. So Tanya Arnold did accounting at school UPL. So I won't keep on going with that. So that's how you do natural language queries inside Boston and FactEngine over TypeDB. FactEngine is in beta now, looking for people to help with beta testing. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that's been informative. If you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.